Good morning, Dual Coast family. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. We have a very special episode this morning, joined by our special guest right there, Sally Macklin, metabolic health coach, as well as my co-host over there on the West Coast as well, Russ Rogers. How you guys doing this morning?
Good. Sally, how are you?
I'm great, Russ.
Good.
It's awesome to be up and out here. I'm on my back porch here. It's 6:30 in the morning. The sun is coming up. Light rain falling, but it'll be fine.
I noticed when Dan asked the question that your rooster responded as well in the background.
Yes.
Yes, we were talking about that. That's one thing your listeners may be hearing in the background. If you're wondering what is that really weird noise, it's my rooster. He's up. He's doing his job. So hopefully he won't be too.
There he is.
There
right
he is. So, yeah. So maybe if people are listening live, it's going to help them wake up to the rooster crowing.
I love it.
Very organic, very natural.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Dual Coast. We're excited to have you. It's great, being here together. We know that it's a little bit later than our normal time.
Yes.
It's 6:30 instead of 5:30. We aim to please on this show. Right. We're flexible. We did a noon podcast at one time. We just did an 8 last week. So, we're all over the place. So, but we try to be, as consistent as we possibly can at 5:30, so we have consistency for our listeners. So, did you tell people about listening? Did you tell them you're going to be on the show and make sure and check in, be up at 6:30 and ready to go?
Let's go.
I told a few people. I also told some people, hey, you can catch it afterwards too. So
yes, and they're like, oh, good, I can still sleep.
And I've got plenty of East Coast friends, so maybe they can listen live.
There you go. Right on. Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you, Sally. We haven't known each other that long. We've just been, recently connected, and we'll get into some future stuff that we're going to be joining together in just less than 3 weeks on. But tell us a little bit about who Sally Macklin is and how you got into personal coaching.
Yeah, well, thanks. And thanks for having me on here. It's really pretty cool that I get to reach out to your listeners and your watchers. So Sally Macklin, I'm just a regular mom. Honestly, that's my first job. I have 2 boys, adult boys. But about, to help me with my sanity, to be honest, about 21 years ago, I did a yoga and Pilates class. I loved it so much. And I just felt like it was the one time of my week that I could just feel calm and serene instead of putting out fires with my 2 little boys running around. And so I decided, hey, I want to do this. So I became a fitness instructor. So all these years, it's been such a blessing for me. I feel like it's made me a better mom for sure, that I get to go do yoga. And I just love being able to encourage people. So I don't think I've ever had a bad class. I mean, no matter what. So that's really cool. I found that that's really my wheelhouse, is encouraging people. But then about 11 years ago, I got invited to do something else that really gave me so much more ability and power to help people, and that is that I now am a personal health coach, and yes, a metabolic coach. I also wanted to say I kind of like this title too, an empowerment coach, because that's what I do. And really what I do is I help people reinvent their health just by changing their daily habits that drive metabolic health. Because at the end of the day, it's not what you do, once or for 6 weeks. It's what you learn to do every day, in and out, and what becomes like your, second nature in your life. So that's what I do.
So 21 years ago, you attended a class and you got hooked. Yeah. Is that right? You got hooked. How long did it take for you going through the process of being a student to turning into coaching? How long did that take?
Well, what happened is the gal that it's funny you should, I haven't thought about this for so long, but the gal that taught the class, I actually asked her if she would come and teach a class for me. This is so funny. I haven't thought about this forever. I was also I don't know if you've heard of MOPS, Mothers of Preschoolers, MOPS. It's a Christian preschool support group. So I was an organizer in that, and I asked my friend Tara, would you come and teach yoga to my ladies in my class? And so because of that, we became friends.
Okay.
And because we became friends, she's like, hey, you should take training and do this. So the way it worked, it's a program. It's called MOSA now. It was called something else back then. But I did a 3-day training course. And then, I had to, of course, practice. Um, and then so I teach at a club here in Gresham, Oregon, and also at Portland. Portland's a little way over there. And that's so it's Cascade Athletic Club, and that's where I've taught this whole time.
It's
Awesome.
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So is it a certification you go
Yes.
through and you get? Okay.
Exactly, Russ. It's a certification, and from time to time you have to like recertify or do continuing education.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like driving a Tesla car, which I don't. But driving a Tesla car, whenever you're hands free, like they check on your eyes to make sure that you're alert. Your hands, you gotta be in touch every once in a while, so that the car will tell you put your hands on the wheel, just so it knows that you're awake. So it's kind of the same thing, right? You got to get recertified. You got to get in there. They got to make sure that you are still in alignment with what you're teaching, what they're teaching so to help you. So got to stay connected, Sally.
That's a good thing. Because they might have a lot of drivers asleep in their Teslas if that was the case.
I have seen that before, actually, on the road.
That scares me. I know down there you have a lot of self-driving cars, right?
Yeah.
San Francisco, everywhere. I'm sure New York City. We have Waymo in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think New York is a little bit behind on the self-driving. I think San Fran and Northern Cal is a little bit more advanced, but Waymo, I've seen when I was out by you, I saw Waymo, and it's on.
They're everywhere. Yeah. They're everywhere. Like literally, you can stand on a corner and wait probably 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes, there's a car driving by.
That's wild.
Wow.
They're everywhere. Yeah.
Wild.
So, my one and only Tesla story, a little side note, is I rented a Tesla one time when I went to Pittsburgh last January.
I remember.
It was -7 degrees. So I got to the hotel, which is where the car was waiting for me, and they had put the defrost on, and it was dusk. Okay, sun had already set. So I go to the car, and I can't get into the car because the doors were frozen shut.
Yeah.
I couldn't get in. So I'm going in and out of the hotel because it's -7. I mean, it is cold, right? So I can't get this car unlocked, even though they had defrosted it for some time. And so I'm in contact with them. It took about 30 minutes. And you know what door opened finally? The trunk. So I put my stuff in the trunk, and now I'm climbing through somebody's car to get to the driver's seat so that I could get in, turn the car on, and then wait for the heater to kind of warm things up, right? So that's my real quick Clef Note Tesla story.
Oh man!
Don't rent a Tesla in -7 degrees heat. Cold.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
I think Elon Musk is in the chat actually for doing.
Yeah, you send rockets to space. You can't warm up your car. Come on.
They gotta create a special door edge or lock heater. I hear you, Russ, because up here we're big skiers. And so like you skied all day, it's freezing, the snow is pelting down, and you go out to your truck and you try to open it and it won't open, and then like you're hoping you have like a little lighter and you're trying to like and the thing is you got to put like that grease or Vaseline on your door, but then that's kind of
then you got grease on your hands.
It's not
all kinds of problems.
Can't wait out here.
Yeah.
I love this. We're getting so far off topic.
Yeah. The key is live in Scottsdale, Arizona.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not really.
Sally, let's say somebody you teach comes up to you in class and they want to make this change. They want you to coach them. They want to, make a big change to themselves. What's some of the first practical steps you would have them take in making that change?
Well, sure, absolutely. And that happens a lot. I mean, when I'm teaching my class, I'm on stage, but I'm usually hanging out. I'm talking to people after class, and I've had a lot of people that are like, first of all, they just don't feel comfortable in their own skin.
Sure.
And a lot of people don't even want to set foot in the gym because they don't like how they look. They don't like how they feel. So, honestly, the first thing is, I really want to find out where they're at, what is, kind of their pain points, really. And then what I really want to do is give them hope. Because a lot of people, especially if this isn't like the first time they've, tried to work on their health, tried to lose some weight, and they've done stuff, and maybe they had some success, but then, we all have obstacles in our life, right?
Sure.
Somebody in the hospital, somebody dying, financial issues. So anyways, I want to give people hope. It's like, you know what? You're not broken. We can fix this. And so I just want them to imagine or really visualize what they want. What if I often say this, it's like, gosh, if you could wake up tomorrow and you could have like the lifestyle and the body and the health that you want, what would that look like?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just get people to dream,
Sure.
And I told Russ this. I love. I got it right here. Atomic Habits. Have you guys read this book?
Sure.
I haven't read it, but I've heard about it.
I've heard of it. Yep.
It's awesome. I will tell you, I was reading it yesterday at the coffee shop to prepare it for our talk, and the barista, she's like, "Oh, I love this book. It's so good." And you know what? We had a conversation, and I invited her to our little thing in April.
Oh, nice.
But anyways, but actually, my first quote is not James Clear. It's Henry Ford, and that is, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right."
Yeah.
You guys know that one, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing, is the first thing I would say is I want to give people belief.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're not there. They can't believe in it. And so as a personal health coach, I'm going to believe for them. And, so we talk. I let them know what I do as a coach and how I might be able to help them and what our program is. And then, it's always, if they would like for me to coach them, they're in the driver's seat, because I can't want it for them. But what I do, kind of answer your question, Dan, is I try to awaken their own intrinsic motivation to make a change.
Sure.
That's good. So, okay. So right now you're speaking to the ones who are in your class, Sally.
Okay.
Now, you have an audience right now that is all over the place, right? And you're going
I
to have a
know,
future
and that's
audience.
exciting.
Yeah. So you're going to have a future audience who's going to hear this platform. They're going to hear this podcast. So for those who are not going and attending a class, okay, to get help, they're struggling with that decision. What can you help them with right here, right now in this podcast to get them out of the house, to get them off of the couch, to get them into a class like yours or any class in their community to get them jump started? What would you encourage and say to them today?
Well, I would say that a large percentage of people just do not know how good they could feel. And we know this, right? That exercise, it's that natural endorphins. That saying, right? I had a terrible workout at the gym, said no one ever, right? It's like, it's the first thing of opening the door and walking in. That's the hardest part, right?
Yes.
And especially, gosh, in my class that I teach, it's a 50-minute format class. It's like, all you have to do is show up and I'm going to take care of the rest. Cause you're not going to decide, oh, I'm done now. It's like, oh no, the class is not done. Also, so here's another thing I would tell your viewers is, and I hear people say, like, I hate exercise. Well, try to find something that you like, so pickleball is so popular, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like one reason it is because it's doable, right? It's easier than tennis. So I guess that's another thing is pick something that is easy enough for you, to feel confident at.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a big challenge. And maybe that looks like, just go and find a friend. Oh, that's another thing. Find a friend, or better yet, find a coach, or find a group of people, because we are always better together. That's a big tagline I use a lot. So yeah, that would be another thing, Dan, is that don't try to do this by yourself.
Sure.
And even like the founder of my company, which by the way is Optavia, I'm proud to say that. Dr. Anderson, he'd say, you're much more likely, like, let's say you decide you're going to start running at 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, that would be a tough one for me. But you are so much more likely to go if you call your neighbor and say, let's go together.
Yeah,
absolutely. Accountability.
Absolutely. And that's a really big part of my program too.
Yeah, that creates drive in a lot of people. And Sally, correct me if I'm wrong here, but kind of what you're saying is you have to correct people's mindset first before you even go to the physical portion of things. You have to take that fear out of their minds, that judgment out of their minds, where they're going to come into the gym and feel like it's a safe space, as opposed to them coming in the gym and feeling like they're being judged. So they have to kind of coach their mindset to start. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, 100%. And it's sad, right? That I heard your Chad the other day, Chad Lefevre, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen to him, and you. Pardon?
Nothing.
Did I mispronounce his name?
It was a conversation that Dan and I had off air going into the talk.
We didn't know how to say it either, so we went.
Anyways, he was saying about how many, I think he said we have 30,000 negative thoughts. I don't know if that number is right, but anyways, yeah, I mean, we beat ourselves up, right? Those darn negative voices that are sitting on your shoulder. Rah, 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 rah. So yeah, you got to kick fear in the face. And another thing, again, I know I'm at my gym, multiple times a week, and saying up your listeners out there, if you have this idea that going to, your local fitness club is all going to be hard bodies and all these, people that are workout addicts and, okay, there might be some there. But by and large, there's lots of people that are very much a work in progress.
That's right.
So do not be afraid. Nobody's judging you. Everybody's just kind of focused on themselves.
I do. I go there. I judge everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
You just talk to everybody, Russ. I bet you have a hard time getting a workout in because you're just talking to everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like our buddy Jim.
Yeah. Everybody's Jim.
That's how I met him, right?
Oh, no, Jim. I didn't know that.
At the gym.
Is that right? Oh, at the gym. Jim at the gym.
Jim at the gym. So, did I answer your question, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, I totally agree with that, because I think a lot of people think that gym is this like you just said, hard body place where everybody's trained and everybody's experienced and everybody has these, everybody's been doing this for years type of thing. In all honesty, though, it's kind of the opposite. It's actually more work in progress than it is people who are really experienced. And, I've been to a multitude of gyms, all different styles, different, CrossFit, all this stuff. And even so, people are like, oh, they think I've been doing this for years and everything, but it's not the case. There's tons of beginners in every single class I've been to, every single gym I've been into. That's absolutely 100% true. Now, when you look at people, Sally, who are coming to you And in the short term, they're saying, hey, Sally, I want to get this done, this done, this done. I want to lose weight. I want to get my mindset changed. What would you say allow those people to succeed in a long-term basis as opposed to just that short-term spurt where they're coming to you and saying, I want to make this change quick? What allows those people to succeed in the long term?
Absolutely. That's a great question, Dan. And honestly, that's kind of what my program is all about. Because it's really, I think I said this before. It's not what you do for a week or 6 weeks or a couple of months. It's what your body learns to do naturally going
Sure.
forward. And the program that I coach, we have some new terminology. We kind of our whole company is kind of doing this rebranding thing, and it's really exciting. I have this shirt on. I don't know if you can see it, but it says,
Tell us about
stand up. There we go.
Reset,
says,
renew, refine.
For your listeners, they can't see this. It says, yes, reset, renew, refine. So reset is, okay, I'm trying to get down to a healthy weight. And so we actually, the way our program works, and I hope, I'll just let you know what we're about. First of all, it's you got it, accountability, having a personal health coach to help you, stay the line, right?
Yeah.
Second is education. Like, you got to learn, how to show up differently and different habit patterns. I mean, it's all about changing your habit patterns. Education about what to eat. Of course, nutrition is a big part of it. We get, so my clients, actually, I teach them to eat 6 times a day, small meals.
Sure.
We want to make it really simple. So 5 of those are actually prepared for them. That's the beauty of our program. It's so simple. Wow. Community is huge. We actually next week is April. Can you believe that?
Yes.
And we're a team of coaches because we all work together. I have all sorts of coach friends, and we are getting together and doing a metabolic reset. It's kind of accountability focus group. So because we're always going to be better when we're doing this together and we're with like-minded people. And so anyways, so that's kind of how it goes. And I think I forgot your question, Dan. Whoops.
So in terms of like somebody coming to you and they want to make this change, Sally, so say they want to change.
Yes.
How would they succeed long-term basis?
Exactly. Okay, perfect. Yes. So that's the thing. So we train people, everything, the more you do it, the more you repeat an action, the more your brain, gets used to that. And pretty soon it becomes second nature. Like if I was a coffee drinker and I started drinking tea every morning, after a while, I'd be like, oh, that's just what I do now. And actually, thank you. There's a point I wanted to make, and it's a really big one. It's not about like what you want to do. Like, oh, I want to get up at 5 a.m. every morning. I want to like be productive first thing. I want to. It's who you become.
Sure.
So it's really, and that's such a James Clear thing. And in fact, okay, I'm going to read a little James Clear quote here. He says, identity is the North Star of habit change. The most effective way to change your habits is to focus not on what you want to achieve, but who you want to become. So that's the thing. And that's why when we very first get started, it's like, okay, here you are right here in your current reality. And, your current reality is really basically the sum of the habits and your thoughts. We could get into that too. We will get into that. But this new person, your future self, your 3.0 self, they have a different set of habits.
Okay.
So, and a fundamental truth that we have at Optavia is this: it's lead from the future, act in the now. That's very classic. So what that means is, okay, look at that future person. How do they act? How do they show up? What do they eat? What are their activities? And it's like, okay, if I want to be that person in the future, I got to start acting like that person now.
Yeah.
I won't be that person yet, but
Yes.
I need to really, that's how you get there, Dan. And that's how you stay there. Well, when it comes to your health is like the laundry, right? It's like you can do it, you get all washed and folded, and it's all good. And then you have to do it next week too. So I would say that staying in a community of people that are all want the same thing as you, like recently, I was in Dallas. We had a convention. We had this, it was awesome. It's called Awaken.
Cool.
And so of course, we have team dinners. We all go out to dinner. And so we go out and looking around the table, like there's 20 people around the table, and we're all having,
salad,
proteins and salads and stuff. And like,
no dressing.
It's not like it was hard.
Yeah.
Like if I had said, oh yeah, I'm gonna have chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes, I would have been definitely the odd man out, And so it was not hard to make good choices because again, it's accountability, which is, you could say, oh, you better be on your best behavior around these health coaches, but it's a good thing.
So you raise a good point though, because if you're not surrounded by like-minded people, it makes this way harder.
Absolutely.
Because if you're going out to dinner with people who are not like-minded, everybody else is going to judge you for eating that salad or getting that plain dish or something like that. And I mean, I've experienced this so many times in my life where I've gone out to dinner with people who, not to say they don't care, they still work out and they train and everything like that, but I want to stay healthy. I want to try to keep on my regimen or anything like that. And everybody else is like, what are you doing? So it kind of works in the opposite effect sometimes where you're trying to stay on goal and they're not. So surrounding yourself with like-minded people helps so much because you don't feel that judgment as much. Like you didn't feel judged by ordering a salad because everybody else was getting a salad or everybody else was getting grilled chicken or something like that. But if you're in a scenario where people don't care, they're going to judge you for trying to stay on that regimen. I've seen that so many times.
Well, you know what? Last year at my event in Santa Cruz, I took all the team, the speakers, everybody out to dinner to a pasta place. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
There was like 8 or 9 of us.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just say 9. 8 ordered salads and I ordered pasta.
That's correct.
I'm like, we should have went to a salad bar.
That's correct.
I'm looking around every salad. Yeah, I'll have one. I'll have that. I'll have a salad. It's like, all right, we're not going to pasta again.
I do recall that was fun. But it's true though. It's just nature of the beast. Like when you go to dinner, nobody's really ordering a healthy dish unless you're surrounded by those people who are doing that. It's how it is. But what are you gonna say, Sally? I cut you off.
Oh, that's okay. I definitely, as coaching my clients, I mean, we talk about what they're facing that week, so it might be, oh yeah, I've got this big, birthday party I'm going to, and, or drinking. That's a big one.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, you know what? Nobody cares what's in their glass. They really don't. Right. You might think they do, but they don't. But I also, how I coach people, like when they're doing program, which I can talk a little bit about what happens when they do, but they're feeling good, they're in fat burn. I can talk more about that. But so I tell them, okay, go to this thing and tell the people around you, especially like if they compliment you, hey, you're looking good. Oh, have you lost a little weight? And I tell them, yeah, you know what? I'm really focused on my health right now. I'm working with a coach and I've lost 10 pounds and so I'm just going to be ordering, I won't be eating the dessert. And thank you for supporting me in that.
Good way to
and
do
I tell them that don't ask.
Yeah.
Don't ask forgiveness or excuse yourself. Just be bold and just say, thank you for supporting me. And I mean, okay, you'd really have to be, okay, I don't want to swear on your thing, but can I say asshole? You have to be a real asshole.
Wait, you're supposed to ask permission first.
Whoops.
No, I'm just kidding.
You'd have to be a real stinker to like challenge that, right?
Yeah, sure.
And more likely that person would say, "Oh no, that's awesome. That's great. Good for you. I'm glad you're doing it." And maybe even, "What are you doing?" And hey, maybe I can join you. So I like, again, that's an empowerment, right? It's like I want people to like, hey, you know what? I'm doing this for me, and no apologies, and you don't need to. Just like you didn't need to apologize for eating pasta, Russ, and salad people didn't need, like you just
He
Never.
definitely
do
is
what you
not
can do.
apologetic.
I was not apologizing.
He's not apologetic.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
and I'm sure you enjoyed your pasta,
I enjoyed my meal. I
and that's
loved
okay.
it.
You know
Like,
what,
I don't want
Russ?
lettuce.
I saw him get a second dish of pasta, actually, Sally.
I do want to say this too. I am not the food police.
Yeah,
I don't ever judge my clients or anyone. It's just because everything is a choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
It
not it's not cheating. I hate that word, cheating.
Yeah.
It's just a choice. And
Yeah.
it's a choice that either leads you towards your goal or takes you away from it.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, people follow a lot of fads. They go with the rage, they go with what's happening. You get in, you dive into the hard work, you help them, you coach them, you analyze them, you lift them up, you build them up. You actually tear them down and build them back up, right? You want to help them maybe lose weight, you want to help them refine their bodies, you want to help them in their minds, their thinking. Well, we all know that for the last little bit, the rage is GLP-1s and peptides.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
people love a little bit more of the quick fix. It's like going to, McDonald's, right? We'll just do something quick. We get in, we get out, we go, right?
Mhm.
Tell everybody your take and the difference between what you focus on, the GLP-1s and the rage, and what's your take on?
Yep.
Sure, that is a great question because everybody, you're right, that's the shiny object right now, has been for a few years. So in the beginning, when like, we didn't really even know kind of what this was, and it was like the start, we were like, don't do that shot. No, it's not the right way. But, honestly, if you can't beat them, join them. And so I want to say this. We are not against GLP-1s, not
Right.
at all. It's a tool. And actually, here's the way I like to say it. And actually, I want to explain what my program does to be able to compare that. So, what I help people do is I help people uh, restrict their calories just enough, just the right calorie deficit, as we say, to get them in a mild fat burn state.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something we're really getting more and more into about healing your metabolism. So what happens? Like I'll have a client that starts. They're eating less, and what happens is instead of having the sugars in their food be their fuel, their body turns to their fat stores, and it really only takes about 3 days for that to happen. So when you make that shift, I could call it ketosis, but that's kind of a lot of times the ketosis is pretty harsh. We want it gentle, just a gentle fat burn. So we don't even like use that word. People, that's the secret sauce of how the weight comes off so fast because people are literally melting the fat off them. And that is a big thing too about our program is that we are targeting just the fat because we you want to protect your muscle.
Sure.
That's because it's in muscle that burns calories, right?
Right.
So anyways, so that is the desired effect is that we get people in that fat burn stage, the weight's coming off, plus when your body's getting that really good fat energy, you feel great. In fact, I after all this time, I feel like I can on the phone, I can hear in people's voices when they're in fat burn or not. I can just tell.
Mhm.
Also can tell because they tell me that they just cleaned out their basement or they power washed their front drive. Like they are ready to go. They're feeling energetic. They wake up, they jump out of bed. That's what fat burn looks like.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. But some people, it's just, so let's say that that's like a little garden shovel, right? So, but for some people, that's just not enough because there's that food noise. They think about food constantly. They have food addictions because that's a real thing, definitely.
Yeah.
Also mental. People definitely eat food not just to nourish their bodies, but for emotional, numbing with food, all of that. So for some people, it sounds great, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So in that case, it's like, okay, our little garden shovel is not doing the job. Let's get a big old, snow shovel. And that's GLP-1. It's like, okay, we need a bigger tool. We're going to shut down your hunger.
Yeah.
We're going to make it so, we're bringing the big guns so that you can get that, achieve what you want.
Yeah.
So, and so we're like, okay, great. And, also GLP-1s are getting better and better all the time. They're doing the compounds. So I am not against GLP-1s. Our company is not. I just feel I would rather that people try it with the little garden shovel first and see if that's going to work.
Sure.
The other big thing about GLP-1, and so again, like I said, you can't beat him, join him. If you just use a GLP-1, you turn off your hunger, you just keep eating whatever you want, you haven't changed anything.
Right.
That's right.
Your habits have not changed. So we actually now have a special GLP-1 support plan. It's like, okay, if you're going to use it, fine, that, we'll incorporate that into what you're doing, but you still need to learn have healthy habits. And it's not just what you eat too. It's like having good sleep, having good exercise, having good stress relief. The mental part is huge, changing your relationship with food. So we come alongside people that are doing GLP-1 and say, hey, we want to, you're spending all this money and, a big investment doing these shots because they're not cheap. We ask this question, how soon do you want to gain that weight back? And I've had clients that they've done my program years ago. They lost their weight. They didn't get this part. They didn't make the mindset shift.
Sure.
They didn't change their identity. And then they gained their weight back when something hard came along. They went on GLP-1. They did that for a while and then they had to stop. Maybe they got sick from the shot or it was too expensive and they stopped and they gained all the way back and more. Because another thing with GLP-1 is that I mentioned to you that our program is very careful about targeting fat and protecting muscle. Well, actually, Optavia has recently done a study that showed that typically GLP-1 users, about 40% of their weight is actually muscle.
Sure.
So that's kind of bad news because if you're losing your muscle, the fat, as people have shown, the fat comes on pretty quick.
Yes,
again.
Yeah.
Muscle, not so much. And then if you, have less muscle, you're burning less calories. So it's like, if you start off with a certain percentage of muscle, you lose the muscle, you lose the fat, then you gain the fat back, but not the muscle, you're behind in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of my thoughts about GLP-1.
Gotta keep working out.
Can be good. It can be a good tool, but it requires some management for people to have long-term effects.
Sure.
That's awesome. Very well said.
I think there's also a misconception about eating clean. I think at the same time too. I hate to say dieting because people are very, very taboo.
I hate that word.
Yeah.
I do not like diet.
I usually say eating clean or something along those lines. But people have this misconception that you have to eat in this regimen all the time. You could still have your meals and everything like that if you want to have this meal and that meal. So long as you're in a caloric deficit, you will still lose weight. People think that, oh, I can't have this at night because it's bad for you. Yes, it may be not the healthiest food, but so long as you remain in a caloric deficit and you're in this state of, as you called, somewhat of ketosis, we're not going to say ketosis, but somewhat of ketosis, you will still lose weight. And that's this misconception that people have. It's like, oh, I can't eat that. Yeah, maybe it's not the best thing for you, but so long as you're still in that calorie range, let's say you're in this, 1,800 to 2,000 calorie range right now. So long as you're sitting there, you're okay. People think like, oh, I can't touch that. Like, it's not always the case. And I think that leniency sometimes allows people to excel more than, regress at the same time, because they could see that themselves, oh, listen, I could have this, twice a week. And that may help them actually propel themselves as opposed to regress all the time. You agree with that?
Kind of.
Okay, tell me.
So yeah, again, everything's a choice.
Sure.
And like people that go on trips, I'm like, well, if you're eating just because you need to fuel your body, because that happens. Like with my clients, they're get used to eating 6 times a day.
Yeah.
After 2 to 3 hours, they're going to be hungry. So, so it's like, hey, you know what? If it's just I got to fuel my body, then the products we have, the fuelings are great. If it's like, oh, it's a special, it's my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, it's like, well, then yeah, you're gonna want to go and be social and make choices and so but as far as I want to speak to staying in a calorie deficit, that's one thing, that I coach my clients. It's like, hey, we're going to make this really simple for you. You have 5, we actually call them fuelings, not meals. Okay. And it's a mindset thing. It's like, hey, you're fueling your body. We make it easy for people. It's not, we don't want people to feel deprived. We have things like brownies. Okay. We have like, I have cereal. I've got, it's not like you're going to be eating cardboard, but, thing is, when you get in that calorie deficit, you're feeling good. You're like, my typical client would be losing, depending where they start. Like, let's say I have somebody at 250 pounds.
Yeah.
Like 6 to 8 pounds loss in the first week is typical.
Right.
Yep. Makes sense.
But I want my job for them, especially in those first couple weeks, the month, is I want them to get in that fat burn and stay there. And we actually call it guarding the burn, right? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, if you have a piece of chocolate cream pie, that is going to throw you out. And I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah.
And so what I always tell people when they're doing my program is like, modified plan, modified results.
Okay.
And like, again, I don't want to be a food. I will tell you, if you eat this, you will be out of fat burn. And what I hate is when people are like almost, but not quite in fat burn. Because to be honest, that like kind of sucks.
Right.
It's like, and you're almost, but not quite feeling that great energy. And so, I just tell people, it's like, you are committing, this is an investment you're doing, you're committing to your health. And again, that question is like, hey, is this eating this or, taking that walk or whatever, is that getting me closer to my goal or not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's just a question. I do, I meet weekly with my coaches or my clients on the phone. We go over, how was your week? What happened? What was good? What obstacles did you have? And we learn from them, right? When they make a choice that's not getting them towards their goal, it's like, hey, you know what? You got to learn. And so yeah. Awesome. So I don't know. I guess I'm somewhat disagreeing with you. It just
No, I love
depends on
that.
what people want. But
Yeah.
again, they are in the driver's seat, not me. And you know what? Actually, that gets me to a point I wanted to make, and that is just personal responsibility
Okay.
is so huge. It's like there is one person. I'm pointing to the viewer here. One person that is in charge of your health, and that is you.
You.
And you can't make like can't make excuses. And the results of your habits you wear on your body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. Sally, coming up in just under 3 weeks, you and I are going to be on stage together. Dan's going to be on the big screen above us, looking down as if he's God. We're going to be in Portland. We're going to be at the Eleanor in downtown Portland in the Pearl District. We're going to be on stage. We're going to be talking about some of this stuff in a podcast at Impact Portland today. Part of that, the focus of that event is all about reinventing themselves. People reinventing themselves in health and wellness. Can you just give us a little snippet of ways, and I know that you have over these last 45 minutes, but let's say somebody's going to attend that event, or they're not, they're out of the country, or whoever's listening to this, right? But would give them some simple steps of how people can reinvent themselves in 2026 when it comes to health and wellness.
Yeah.
Sure. And I just have to say that I'm really excited about this whole concept. I feel like our country's in revival. I feel like we've been like walking around in the desert, and it's coming. People are really waking up and saying, "Yeah, it's
walking
time to
around.
do this. Is not good. We need to do better." And also, I am excited to be part of this event. And again, I've been trying to listen to some of your other guests, and I feel like we're kind of all singing the same song, but just in a different language or a different dialect. We have, but it's the theme is all the same. So I'm looking forward to hearing some of your other speakers. But as far as reinventing your health, that's really what I do. People come to me. That's what I help them with. The first thing is, okay, where are you? What you got to have brutal self-evaluation. Where are you at right now? And what are the habits that got you there? And that's something, I actually have like an assessment that I send to people when we're talking about working together. So it's the first thing. It's like, you got to know where you're at.
And that's
And
the
then
hard part. That's not easy for people to answer.
Yeah.
Exactly. Being honest with yourself. I mean, a lot of people, honestly, that's the first step, being honest with yourself. Because, I've got all these other sort of voices going on. And then the second thing, which I did mention before, is know where you want to go. Like, what's my goal? We have this thing called structural tension. It's like, okay, here's where you're at. Here's where you want to be. What are the little steps to get there? So, and then, I think I said this, the belief that you can actually do that. And again, as a coach, I lend my belief to people. Like so many people, when they start my program, they're really skeptical. They're like, I don't know, this works for everybody else, but I don't know about me.
Right.
So and it's just a simple process. And so that's another thing. Don't try to change everything. It's like, we just gotta James Clear again, like, the 1%. If you can get 1% better than you were yesterday, that 1% is going to compound. And that's another thing. Big thing is when I work with people, like, I want to help them find wins.
Sure.
That's great.
And that's a big thing. So I believe you told me, Russ, that at our event, you're going to give everybody a little journal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
right.
Nice.
And that's a big thing too. Writing stuff down, even just writing things down is like, you're accountable to yourself, because you can go back and you can see what you said about yourself. And so, to write down your goals. And then where's I going with that? Wins. So even if you had a really horrible day and like everything went wrong, like okay, let's go ahead and find the wins though. There gotta be something that went right. Let's focus on that.
Right.
And then, because when you do that, you build confidence and trust with yourself.
Sure. Makes sense.
And so a little bit over time, and again, with coaching, having somebody, your accountability partner, I would probably have to say that I'm kind of a cheerleader. And I have talked people off the cliff meaning quitting, because that's like you everything. There's no such thing as failure, right? It's just all progress and feedback, unless you quit.
Yep.
So I keep people from quitting. And then the other thing I would say, Dan, is you gotta join people, like-minded people. Don't do it by yourself. Find people that are gonna support you in what you want to achieve. So looking for more of James Clear quotes, but you might want to read this book. I don't know if he'll give me credit for like promoting. And I mean, honestly, okay. I heard a podcast the other day. It was really awesome. A woman, I forget her name, Debbie somebody, talking about identity. It was super powerful, but it was James Clear. So I'm going to give him credit. I'm not going to tell you I thought of it.
Good job.
Shout out, James.
So did that answer your question, Dan?
Yeah.
Reinventing and just getting excited about I'm gonna do this, and you're worth it, because so many people have this subliminal message, maybe from childhood. There's a reason we do the things we do. The people that have 400 pounds of excess weight, there's a reason that they do what they do.
That's right.
And and a lot of times sometimes that is a deep dive. It's like, okay, what is going on that I feel compelled to do the things that I do? Sometimes they're destructive, and sometimes you got to just really dig into that.
Sure.
I am not a psychologist, but definitely, again, going back to Dr. Anderson, the founder of Optavia, my company, he says that 80% of what ails Americans is emotional mismanagement.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's another step, is like, let's look at why. Again, this is self-evaluation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But anyways, I'm really hoping that I will be able to inspire people to reinvent themselves, and say, draw that line in the sand. And that's the thing too. It's like, when you're not willing to stay where you are, and you want more in your life. It's like, there's got to be more than this. Like and so many people, it's like could have so much better potential if they weren't restricted by their health. And I also want to say this too. It's not about your health now. And that's a big shift that we're having, actually. It's about, what is the last portion of your life going to look like?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
We talk about this term of health span versus lifespan. Lifespan is the time from your being born to when you die. Health span is the time between, when you're born and when you still can get up and enjoy life and, make contributions to society and the people around you. A lot of times it's not just about you. It's like, you got to take, so many parents.
Sure.
I actually have, I know we're getting a little close to the deadline here, but one little story. I have a client, he's a young man in Texas, actually, and he's 28 years old, and he came to me, he's 260 pounds, and I have helped him since January. He messaged me, he's like, he was down to 218.
Wow.
Wonderful.
And I
awesome.
am so happy for him. I'm going to call him Mark. That's not his name, but anyways, client confidentiality, right? But Mark told me he has 2 little kids, and he's like, I'm not just doing this for me. I do this for my wife so that I'm going to be around for her and definitely my kids. Plus, and I will say that's something I have seen in my life. It's about the legacy we leave for our kids.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's thinking about his little 4-year-old and 2-year-old. Like, he wants to be the best dad for them and teach them healthy habits so that they're not going to be dealing with obesity and diabetes at age 15, which sadly is happening now.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Well, Sally, thank you for coming on to Dual Coast
Yes.
and being a part of our show.
It was
It's
fun.
been amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate your insight. The rooster kind of went quiet.
Yeah.
Was
It did.
alive and
I
awake
know.
at 6:30, and then I don't know what happened. But
Well,
he's got
it's
12 hens
raining.
around him. So but I just want to say thank you. You're such a blessing, and what you're doing in your community and around the globe is impacting lives. You're helping reinvent people in their walk. You're helping them to identify who they are, and where they want to go. And I know that the listeners today and in the future who are going to hear this podcast are going to learn greatly from all of your insights
Yes.
today. So thank you for coming on to Dual Coast and sharing your message of hope for others.
Thank you. Well, I do hope that whoever's listening or watching, I do just give you hope, because there is hope. And even if, you've got like a lot of issues, you're on medications, you got massive metabolic dysfunction, we can reverse that.
Sure.
Yeah,
We can.
absolutely. And where can people find you?
Yeah, Sally.
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. Well, I don't have a website of my own. I have an email address, and also Facebook is kind of like my storefront.
Okay.
So if you're a Facebook, I am Sally Thompson Macklin. And what should I give my email address?
Or they can just DM you on there on Facebook, and then you can go from there.
Yeah,
But
just send me a message. I'm always on there. Instagram too. I don't even know what my thing is. Sally Macklin.
Sally Macklin. You're on the Sally Macklin.
I kind of I do Facebook and it goes over to Instagram. You know how that works.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
awesome.
But anyways, or you can, I don't know, contact Russ. He knows where to find me.
Absolutely.
But I do.
Absolutely.
But I should say that I do work with people all over the country. Like, it doesn't matter what state you're in. And I'm going to say this. I think I can say this. Soon, very soon, we are going to be going outside the U.S. We're going to be international. So that's going to be a big thing for our company. Big things are happening for Optavia.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're going to be hearing
Awesome,
about us.
man. Thank you so much. Dan, tell us about our show. Where is it going to be at?
Yes. So, Sally, thank you so much again. I hope everybody learned a lot today. We talked about, determination, dieting, what a metabolic health coach does. I hope everybody got a great lesson today. Please check us out at Dual Coast Podcast on all social media handles. Please listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. Please check out Sally on Facebook at Sally Thompson. You said Thompson Macklin. And please check her out on Instagram at Sally Macklin. Sally, thank you so much again for being with us. We will see everybody next week.